We don't know what we're doing.
Disclaimer, we don't know what we're doing.
Hi guys, welcome to the farm channel. This is our first sit down video. We thought we'd kind of give you guys the dog an overview of why we're doing what we're doing right now and what are we even doing.
Well, for years now on our other YouTube channels, we've been talking about nutrition, health, medicine, weight loss, proper human diet, what that is and why you should eat it. And it kept occurring to us that we were advocating eating this diet, but where was this food going to come from? And we both grew up on small farms. We've got some experience with farming, with ranching, not much, a little.
On our previous farm, which was less of a farm and more of a just place where we put a menagerie of animals. So we had goats and potbelly pigs and peacocks, and we did have chickens for eggs and things like that, but it was a hobby and it was never a way that we fed our family.
Right. And growing up, you guys had horses. Growing up, we had a few cattle, not many, just a few, just enough to fill the freezer up.
My grandpa had a garden on this property and raised pigs, and he had chickens, and we all hunt on this land and my parents' land as well. So we have the redneck down.
Yeah. So we've got kind of that general background, and I think we've both always kind of wanted to try our hand at growing our own food, raising our own food, and I think this is the perfect time in the history of this world to start to really practice what we preach. And so we wanted to share that journey with you. We wanted to learn as we go, but also let's all learn together, because I think we all, regardless of whether you live in an apartment in a metropolitan area or you live way out in the country, you need to be able to raise at least some percentage of the food that you eat.
We were blessed enough to be able to have the opportunity to be on this property. My grandparents left this property to me, and we restored the home, and we thought, why wouldn't we restore the soil too?
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't we bring the property back to life like we brought the home back to life? And so we both follow some people that I'm sure you guys know about. Joel Salenton, who's the other?
Greg Judy.
Yep. All these
multiple others,
but they all do regenerative farming, which is what we are going to try to do.
Yep.
Follow in their footsteps, learn as we go. We obviously are, what is the word you want to use?
Neophytes.
We are neophytes.
Yes, 100%. And we're going to share that with you. We're not going to try to pretend that we're experts in this field whatsoever. I think part of the fun of hanging out with us and doing this with us is that you're going to get to learn from our mistakes, laugh at our mistakes, but then not make those same mistakes should you try to do something similar. This farm has always been farmed traditionally with the tractor and the plow and the herbicides and the pesticides, and we're going to try really hard not to do any of that. We're going to try to do this as regeneratively as we can. We're going to start from the soil up. We're going to focus on the soil, the bacteria, the fungi, the worms. We're going to try to build that first, and then on top of that, hopefully, we'll have nice lush grass and other plants that come up, and then we're going to use that grass and plants to feed livestock and some of it to feed ourselves.
Right, so as of this moment, what we have on the farm are 2 grown
Silver Lace Wyandotte.
Silver Lace Wyandotte.
We started with 18 in Nashville, but there was a city bobcat that got 16 of our chickens in our backyard in Nashville. These 2 hens we have left, and they're kind of the matriarchs, and we've got, how many, 30?
We have 30 chicks that are about 8 weeks old now, and they are golden laced Wyandotte.
Right.
And they will be our laying hens, and eventually we may actually eat chickens as well, probably the roosters. We also have 13 sheep coming in July. They are St. Croix sheep.
Yep. They're polled sheep, they're hair sheep, so we're not going to be doing any shearing of the wool or cutting of the horns. All that's going to be taken care of. These sheep were raised on a rotation basis pasture farm. They are trained already to electric fence, and so a lot of that stuff is going to already have been done for us. Hopefully that'll make it a lot easier. But they already understand the rotation method. They're used to that. And we have a great Pyrenees, Ragnar, who is AKA Dogga. That's what Beckett calls him, is Dogga.
No, we call him that
So
too.
we call him Dogga. But he's going to be in with the sheep. He's going to be their guardian and protector. And it's so cool. You can already see him having those tendencies around the baby chickens.
Yeah.
He has no desire to bite them or chase them. He just wants to lay there and hang out with them.
Yeah, and you obviously need to work with these type of dogs. He is 6 months old, so he has a lot to learn, but overall his instincts are very, very good. We also have plans to have Quail here. Dr. Barry, well, I guess I don't have to call you that on this channel.
No, just call me Ken.
Farmer Barry. Ken has a mealworm farm as well, and you might be like, why?
Yeah, so the mealworms are going to give us several levels of resiliency. First of all, quail love to eat them. They're full of protein and vitamins and minerals. They're great for the quail. Chickens love to eat them. If you buy them at the store, Tractor Supply or somewhere like that, they're pricey, right? And so I looked into it a little bit, and it doesn't seem to be too difficult to raise your own mealworms. Now, we might find out in a future video that it was more difficult than I thought. But I've got a little setup, and I'm going to do a video in the future and show you my mealworm setup. But the third thing is, in a complete societal breakdown situation, guess who else can eat mealworms? They're actually eaten in many parts of the world and considered a delicacy. I know, but yeah, they're full of nutrition, and you can roast them and eat them. In a terrible situation, they will feed us as well.
Right,
so,
but they're not for us right now. You will not be watching me eat mealworms on this channel.
Right. If we're eating the mealworms, then probably YouTube doesn't exist anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
We also have 4 raised garden beds where we have a few choice vegetables that mostly we're growing herbs, onions, garlic, a few tomatoes.
Basil.
That's a herb.
Yep.
Those type of things. And then we also have some vegetables that can be used for fodder for the chickens or when we have pigs. We also have blueberry bushes. A lot of people are very concerned that the deer are going to eat our blueberry bushes, and we are like, good.
Yeah, I hope they come every day.
Right, because we don't need all those blueberries, but we do want the venison meat. And if the venison meat has a blueberry essence to it, I'm okay with that. If it fattens them up and makes them even fatter when deer season comes along.
Finished venison. I think there's probably a market for that.
Yeah. So we're not concerned with that. If they come and eat every vegetable in my garden, I won't care, because that's okay. I'll give to them, and when it comes time, they'll give back to me and us. So that's not something that we're super concerned about, because we like the deer. This farm has 49 acres, and it is made up of several different pastures, forest, condensed forest. We have a pond and several creeks that run through here, so we are very well set up to have livestock, and hopefully the pond will have fish in it. Right now we're not sure, because we haven't fished in it, and it hasn't been fished in probably 25 years. So
yeah, but I've been down there a couple of times cleaning up around the pond, and I've seen some swirls. So there's some kind of fish activity. I just don't know what it is yet. Right. Yeah. And so the way we're going to do this is we're going to fence out the creeks and the pond. We're not going to allow livestock to get into the water, just to keep the water cleaner, to protect the fishing if there are fish in there. And I just think that's a better way to do it.
We don't know what we're doing again. So
disclaimer, we don't know what we're doing.
We may try something in our first year that doesn't work at all, and we change and do something again. So again, we're not giving advice on this channel. We're only showing you what we are doing, what we are learning, and hopefully we get to learn from other people in this field as well. We're actually going to the Homesteaders of America event tomorrow, and hopefully we can meet some people there and learn some things too.
Yeah. So if you see anything we're doing wrong, or hear anything we said that's wrong, please correct us in the comments, because we're doing this as much to learn as we are to share this journey with you, and hopefully you're learning on your end, and we're all learning and growing together.
But also remember, there are a lot more than one way to skin a cat. Some people that do traditional farming will look at what we're doing and think that this is completely wrong.
And that's okay.
Because we're doing it in a regenerative way, which means we're not doing it the way my grandpa did it, or your grandpa did it, or many of our grandparents did it, because they did traditional farming.
Yeah, we're fully aware that we could have an enclosed space and have pigs in there just butt to butt, back to back, and feed them and use all kinds of chemical additives and produce a lot more pork, more quickly. We understand that, but that's not what we're doing this for. We're doing this so, as Joel Salatin says, the pig can be a pig and enjoy a pig's life, and the chicken can be a chicken and chase bugs and flies, and the sheep can eat their grass in peace. We're not trying to be as efficient and productive as we can, or we just have a confinement feeding operation. That's not our goal. Our goal is to have a partnership with the animals where we protect them for the majority of their life, we feed them for the majority of their life, and then at the very end of their life, that one bad day they have, then they feed our family. And I think that this is something that human beings have been doing for hundreds of thousands of years. And I think it's something we should continue to do, because I think the ways of nature have repeated themselves for so many generations, because that's the right way to do it.
We obviously are doing this as ethically as we possibly can, and when the animals go to market, it will be done ethically as well. Everything that we can do to make the animal's life and death as peaceful as possible, we're going to try to do that.
You know, it only recently dawned on me. You know the little childhood rhyme, you say, this little piggy went to market and this little piggy stayed home? I always thought that the little piggy was going shopping. I never knew that went to market meant went to market. That was the city boy part of me. I did not know that the little piggy was going to market. So just with that one story, I think you can see that we've got a lot to learn, and we're well aware of that, and we're eager to learn. We're happy to learn, and happy to learn from you, and happy to share this journey with you.
He's a city boy. He grew up in Hohenwald, Tennessee, which is like the middle of nowhere.
Deep in the woods of Tennessee. But you got to understand, I didn't grow up in that mindset of raising your own food. I grew up, we went to the grocery, that's where food comes from. And so in that effect, even though I grew up in the country, I was still a city boy.
So that's a little intro, and I hope that you guys want to hang out and hear more and learn with us. And maybe you guys are on a journey of your own that's similar to this one. If you are, that's awesome. Come along with us, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumb, and leave us a comment and tell us what you're doing to implement the world in agriculture. If you have a garden, or if you've got chickens, what you got going on.
And whether you live in the tiniest little apartment in the biggest city, or you live on the biggest farm out in the middle of nowhere, we're going to try to have things on this channel to help you grow more of your own food.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.